Good morning. Welcome to Odd Musings, episode number 341.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing, man?
Doing well. It's been a busy morning already, but that's a good thing.
Well, that's good, man. Glad to hear that. Gotta be making that money.
Yeah, we got 2 closings coming up Friday, so that's good.
Nice.
So, yeah, had a good closing last week, but got that money in last night, and it's already almost all gone. Paid all the bills.
Well, that happens, you know.
And then, of course, thanks to Uncle Sam, I'm doing my taxes, and for the privilege and honor of being self-employed, I got hit with heavy taxes, but luckily I pre-planned, so I'm good.
There you go. Yep.
They love to get you because I'm one of those wealthy self-employed people.
Yeah, we know how that goes. So,
but good times. I pre-planned, so I'm good.
Well, that's good.
It still sucks seeing how much I'm paying out, though.
Wow. Well, there's only 2 sure things in this world. That's death and taxes. That's for sure. But
for sure.
And the government's going to try to get as much as they can before you die because they can't get any afterwards.
Mm-hmm. Oh, they'll find a way.
Well, they can tax the estate, but you yourself aren't like,
right.
Well, I can't get it from me no more. I ain't got it. I'm gone.
Through AI and bots, they'll reanimate your body and make you keep working.
Yeah. Well, at that point, the spirit's gone, so they can do what they want with the flesh.
Very true.
So, hey, so you had a good couple weeks here because I haven't been on in 2 weeks. So
yeah. So things are going well here. You timed your Florida trip perfectly to avoid all the snow, and then you came back just in time for all the sun.
Oh, yeah,
so that was well played.
Well, it worked out nice. It's one of those things I would say, bring back the sun. Well, I guess I did. So you brought back the sun. It's like good. I mean, it was nice down there. It was like 70s. I'll
pay up my sunshine fee.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, usually pay my taxes. So, but yeah, I had good weather while I was down there. Sunny every day, mid 70s, except for the one day. The first day was on Monday was 60. So that's the only day I wore jeans. Every other day I wore shorts and t-shirts. But that day it was chilly enough that jeans and a hoodie were pretty much all day. Just because it's 60 and winds and everything else. But it was my Animal Kingdom day, so it worked out because I did like the safari, a couple rides, things like that, and had a good time that day. So it was not too bad to be that parked for just the cooler day. But every other day I was in like Magic Kingdom, Hollywood Studios, and Epcot, and shorts and a t-shirt. Had a hoodie with me every day, just in the start in the morning and at night, because it definitely would be 45 in the morning and then cool off pretty fast once the sun went down. So
yeah,
but it was good.
Awesome.
Had a good time.
Well, we'll dive more into your Florida trip and the experiences with Galaxy's Edge and all that.
Yeah, and everything else. So, but we should probably knock out these ad reads real quick. So I'll start us off with Loringer Family Chiropractic Center PC. Let me get their services here so you can see a bunch of stuff they do there. But they take great pride in providing the finest chiropractic care to each and every patient, offering on-site digital x-rays, orthotics by foot levelers, young liver essential oils, aromatherapy, full line of vitamins, all in a family-oriented environment. Give them a call, 734-697-4244. Visit my line at LauraFamilyChiropractic.com. You can also find them here at Facebook. Just look up Loringer Family Chiropractic Center PC. We can call, like, and message them there. And I noticed Scott had posted the other day he went to his chiropractor, which is not Loringer's, which is fine. We realize people are not going to be able to drive hour or 2 hours sometimes to go to a chiropractor. So we want to find someone local in your area. But both of us have benefited pretty greatly from chiropractic care.
Yeah, I'm on a maintenance program where I go once a month. And it's interesting because prior to going, I would self-crack my neck. I would do this head twist thing that would always crack my neck,
which is horrible to do.
Yeah. but I would do it like minimum 5 times a day because it would just,
It's
I would
easy.
get
I
this
just move my neck
feeling.
anymore and it just goes. So
Yeah, and I would get this feeling of just tightness, and I would do that move, and it would just feel like a feeling of relief, and I would do it like at least 5 times a day. Ever since I started going, it's been over a year since I've done that. And I don't even feel the need to. I just it my everything feels great, and so with the maintenance program, it's just interesting how you go through your month and you're feeling fine and stuff, and then you go in, and when he does his thing, it's like you feel that it's like, oh, I didn't even realize I was getting all that tension building up again, but he unleashes it and feel great for another month. I love
awesome.
it. So it's not that the monthly maintenance is required, but like I've said,
No, it's just like everything. It's
you,
with you do it on
once
your
you
own pace.
realize the when you live with all that tension all the time, you don't realize you're carrying it until it's released.
Right.
And so when you do something, it's like, oh wait, okay, because some people will be like, oh, but they make you go back. It's not that they make you go back; it's you're going to want to go back because you start realizing, oh, this is what it feels like
Well,
to
if you
be
find
good.
a good chiropractor or anything in whatever it is, but when you find a good chiropractor, they may say, okay, this is what we want to do to get you started, and then we'll get into what's
Right,
called maintenance, and you decide on that. There are, unfortunately, just like in any field, doesn't matter what
right,
it is, people that will constantly try to get you to come and spend more money,
right.
and those few give the good a bad name.
Yeah, which is why it's good to go to someone who you trust that
Hmm.
recommends them.
Yep.
So both Brett and I, we both experienced Lorgers firsthand. He's a current patient. They helped my daughter in the past. Great service, and we highly recommend them.
Yep.
All right, and then we
Yep.
also have Team Titans Real Estate. Why? Because you matter. That's right. Even though we utilize the latest in tools and technology to maximize your home buying and selling experience, we never forget at its core, it's a people business. And so we take the time to get to know you. We put our relationship with you first, and it matters. It oftentimes our buyers don't even know what they want. They think they know what they want on paper, but in looking at houses and as we get to know them, there's been many times where based upon our knowledge of the person, we're able to say, you know what, let us do our own search. And we come up with something and show them, they're like, oh my God, this is exactly what I want. But it wouldn't have fit their criteria that they gave us. Because we, being professionals and we see so many houses on a regular basis, we get a good feeling for what you actually need. So, and with this market, it's going to be a crazy market. I'm telling you. So I've been analyzing the numbers. We had like 20% increases in prices in 2022. 2023, it leveled out. It was only about a 4% total gain for the whole year. But that's because interest rates had gone up. So that kind of cushioned the blow. Well, now we have them going back down, and a lot of the projections I'm seeing is it's going to be the Mad Max Thunderdome out there, maybe even worse than it was in 2022 as far as the bidding wars. Time will tell, but I'm just saying it. I'm not trying to scare anybody, but if you're a potential buyer, you may want to get in the market now. If you hold out for that extra little tiny interest rate drop that might be coming, that may get offset by the large price increases that are being projected. So come talk to us. You can always refinance down the road if the interest rates keep dropping, and they drop enough 6 months, 8 months, whatever down the road. You could look at refinancing again to get that lower rate, but you can't change your purchase price. So lock it in now. But before I'm starting to look for a place. I want to do it now. I don't want to wait till the spring when it's going to get, we're going to be back. I can't say we're going to be, but I believe we're going to be back to $50,000 minimum, appraisal guarantees. You're going to have that much cash just to put down, crazy bidding wars and all that. So give us a call. 586-232-5144 is our team number. My number is 586-549-6096. I have that in the comments. Consultation is free. It costs you nothing. And no matter where you are in the state, we can help you out. We can refer you to other people. And even if you're in other states as well. So give us a call. We'll take good care of you.
All right. Well, hey, I'm just going to start us right off. I'll talk a little bit about Disney and everything else.
Yeah, I'm
So
so
this was
jealous.
Well, this was I love going to Disney, Universal. And I haven't done a big Disney trip like this in over 10 years, and or almost 10 years, I should say. And because it was 2014 when I did that last, and had a great time. When I did this, I did a solo trip, so I didn't have to concern myself with anybody else and what they wanted to do or not wanted to do. Worrying about somebody being a little slower or faster or whatever. I just go at my own pace.
Right.
And it was fun. I got a chance to really explore and check everything out. Did all 4 parks. I was there, got in on Sunday, and went through till through Friday. Morning, Kevin.
Kevin.
So I did a day and a half at Hollywood Studios, which is where Star Wars Galaxy Edge is. I did a day at Animal Kingdom, 2 days at Magic Kingdom because it is my favorite park. Just because I like the nostalgia and the full Disney feel of it. And then I did a day at Epcot, which Epcot is, I'll kind of talk about that. I like Epcot. They have the best ride in all 4 parks, which is the Guardians of the Galaxy roller coaster. That ride was insanely good, and definitely on par with any of the roller coasters anywhere in the country, just in terms of theming, the way the ride goes, everything else. It was definitely very exciting. I wish you could rode it more than I did. I did the virtual queue, which you can do that once per day. And then I paid for the lightning lane. So that cost me like $15 so I could actually get on the ride again. I did that for the morning because I didn't get the virtual queue in the morning. For some reason, it just didn't connect up. Right. So I missed that. So I was able to get the afternoon one, though, while I was in the park. If I could have rode that 5 times that day, I would have. It was just a really good ride. Epcot for rides, they have several, not tons. I didn't do the Frozen ride, which is basically a ride through the story of Frozen. That one had long wait lines, and then I didn't get the lightning lane for that because I used the lightning lane that day too on a couple of things. I did get it for the Ratatouille ride, which was a lot of fun. You get into a car that looks like a mouse, so basically you're a mouse being chased through the kitchen and all that stuff by the bad chef from Ratatouille, and being helped out by the main characters from Ratatouille. That was pretty cool because it felt like you were actually that small with all the giant set pieces you see, plus the projection screen, stuff like that. And it's not on a track; it's a trackless move, but it does have a path that goes, but it doesn't feel like you're actually constantly just on a static thing. You're kind of moving all over and everything else. So it was really cool how they did the 3D and everything else with that. So that's right. It was fun. That one all day long, though, was backed up 2 hours.
Yeah.
I didn't check out every single land in the place. I did check out Mexico, walked through there real quick, rode the little boat ride for the 3 Caballeros. I had lunch at La Cellier, which is in Canada. I checked out their little Canadian video presentation just before my reservation was up. Really good steakhouse. I've ate there before. I really like that place. Wander through like a bunch of other stuff, heading around through Japan and through the American area a little bit, and because of a couple of ride times, stuff like that, I kept having to go back somewhere before I came back out, and then it got pretty busy. Friday was a very busy day at Epcot. Part of it was just Friday. You see different groups there. People taking the weekend off. I saw a few like bachelorette parties groups wandering around because people like to go to Epcot to drink around the world and eat around the world. They had their art fest and their food fest going on. So a lot of little stands set up, things like that. So that was kind of cool. I didn't eat a lot of the stands because I got a good lunch there at La Soleil where I was a nice 16-ounce ribeye. I was stuffed for pretty much the rest of the day. So
Yeah.
And that, but Epcot's never been my ultimate favorite just for going for theme park riding. If I was there, that one I would enjoy more with a group where we're like, hey, let's go and check out the different stands, maybe get a dinner somewhere or a lunch somewhere, but then eat around the world, drink a little bit, hang out, just kind of enjoy it as a hangout park, which is what I think it kind of feels like. In that Mission Space I didn't do because as you can hear my noise, my voice a little bit. I've had this upper respiratory congestion thing, and it's not anything catchy. I just can't knock the rest of it out. Just better today than I have in the last couple of days since I got home, but I didn't want to do that because it's actual. You feel the pressure on that Mission Space because it's like a shuttle launch, and I didn't want it to mess with my breathing and all that. Did of course Spaceship Earth, which is the big ball there. So I enjoyed a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things I could have done I didn't do there, but it was also my last day, so I was getting a little tired.
Yeah.
But I had fun with that. But one of the fun things I did though at Galaxy's Edge though was I get to go ride the Smuggler's Run, which is the Millennium Falcon ride. You have a question, Scott?
I was before you get into you didn't make it over to, is it Animal Kingdom?
Yeah, I did that Monday.
was that? Did you go on the Avatar ride?
I did, yes. I actually that one I waited 3 hours to ride. It's the longest wait I had all week. And the reason I waited that long was I'm not a fan of the Avatar movies. I really could care less. So I mean, walking through the area was okay. There's two rides. There's a boat ride I did not do, but I looked it up. I was like, okay, it's just kind of a boat ride through. Didn't care for that. I rode the one that's like soaring, so you're kind of
You're
strapped in.
flying on a dragon or
This
whatever.
one they put you in a little. Basically, you're on like a almost. It feels like it's a stationary bike almost, and then it locks you in, and then they actually do drop the floor, so it kind of moves you around and stuff like that, and it's a big 3D thing. It was neat. I thought it was the effects are great. I mean, the effects are movie quality effects. It was a fun ride. Would I ever wait 3 hours again? No,
No.
I
Okay.
don't think it's that great a ride. I personally, not like I said, I think I know why they did it. They went as like, oh, the first Avatar made billions of dollars. We're gonna do these 3 more movies and make billions. But Scott and I have talked about over the years is we gauge it based on what we see at Comic Cons, and saw a few cosplayers here and there over the years. I haven't seen one in a few years, and then this last year and a half when the other Avatar movie came out, I'd see people post they went and saw it, but I wouldn't see anything much afterwards.
Yeah, I still think they spent their marketing budget on tickets, and we had all the reports of empty theaters, even though it was sold out.
Yeah,
and stuff, and
so I don't know. I don't know why they did that, and who knows? It'll be there for a while because they supposedly got more movies coming out. It doesn't hurt the theming. They are going to be putting in. I guess I heard someone say they're doing a Zootopia, which is based on the animated movie, and then they're supposed to do a second movie of that. That would make a little more sense in terms of being a Disney themed product geared towards kids. So, well, I guess I'll go through my days real quick. I'll start with Monday. I will jump back to Sunday because that was another Hollywood studio, but that'll go with the Wednesday day. But Monday was my Animal Kingdom day. I chose that day because when I looked at the hours for the parks, originally I was going to do Magic Kingdom that day, and Magic Kingdom was closing at 4:30 for a private event. So I didn't want to go and start at that park. And I had park hoppers, so I could have gone somewhere else.
that has to be a big private event.
Oh, it happens all the time. Corporations will rent out the park. And they will close it sometimes around 4:35. They say 4:30, 4 or 4:30, I think is when they say close. Basically, the event probably didn't start till 6 or 7 because they have to have time to get everybody out of the park.
Right.
And basically what they do is they basically move them from the backs all the way to Main Street. They don't necessarily kick them out, but at that point, they put a thing up where you have to be checked to get into the rest of the park.
Right.
But if you're standing on Main Street, they're going to let you spend all the money you want at all the shops there as you're walking out. So I didn't want to do that. So Animal Kingdom was a little bit busy that day because of the fact, and the time with somebody else, they had the same thought I had. And we are like, well, maybe somebody thought the same thing. We're going to come here, for our trip instead of going to Magic Kingdom, and it would have been split up a little more.
Right.
I went in there, starting my day off. I decided to have breakfast at the Rainforest Cafe they have right there at the entrance. And they have, I'll tell you this, if you don't have a dining plan and you're going to be paying out of pocket, I got a really good breakfast for $19.99. I got a country fried steak. It was about like this big. It was good size. A couple eggs, hash browns. I got a cup of coffee. I think total cost was 20 some odd dollars. I think I spent $35 with tax, or not tax, tip. So really, really good price. And they have a lot of choices. I got a pancake too. So that's why it's a couple more dollars. But very good, very fresh. Wasn't quick service when they're making it all there. And then from there, I just walked right into the park and started my day. I did the lightning lane there as well because I was trying to get it for a couple of the rides. The one ride I was hoping to ride, I didn't get a chance to, was Mount Everest. The Everest expedition. It was down most of the day. When it came up, I was in line for Pandora. I did have a lightning lane for it, but the problem is I didn't get off Pandora to after 6 when the park closed. And if you weren't in line by 6, even lightning lane, you couldn't ride the ride. They were basically saying you got to go.
Right.
So I left at that point. But I did ride like the dinosaur ride, which I heard they're going to get rid of. They're getting rid of Dinosaur Land. I think that's where they're going to put Zootopia. It's an older part of the park there. I did the Lion King show, which is always fun. It's a big celebration and with live actors, tumblers, things like that. And then they bring in the big set stages with the characters. And I basically just kind of enjoyed wandering around and checking things out. Did the safari. The safari is always fun. That's part of the reason I got the lightning lane was the safari lane was like 90 minutes right away from the get-go. And the lightning lane got me on in 30. And the lightning lane's through the part of the genius thing, the genie Genie Plus. You pay for it per day per person. So being just me, it wasn't that big a deal. It was like $18, and I ended up getting like 3 lightning lanes out of it, which worked out pretty good for getting into lines and stuff like that. The Pandora one goes fast. Everybody tries to get that. So that was gone before I even had a chance. And then because I did sign up for it a little bit late. But it was nice to have that for some of the other stuff, wandering around, checking out the shops, things like that. So, but Animal Kingdom's fun. It's a neat little place. I recommend checking that out at least just one day. You're not gonna need more than a day. But the safari is cool because you're on a big, basically truck, and they have tons of wild animals. I mean, we saw lions, we saw rhinos, we saw hippos, giraffes were all walking, and they're all walking around. Some come pretty close to you. So it feels like you're doing a real safari, and it's not like as a gimmick ride. They actually are conservationists working with these animals and helping out and stuff like that. So
cool.
And then so that's kind of my day there. Tuesday was my first Magic Kingdom day. For the 2 days I did Magic Kingdom, which was Tuesday, Thursday, I did not do the lightning lanes. The one thing I did was to get on the Tron ride, which is at Magic Kingdom, you have to do virtual queue. They don't have a walk up, or you can buy the lightning lane for just getting on that ride. I did the virtual queue both days, so I didn't have to pay extra for it. Fun ride. If you're a Tron fan, you're on the bike, which is iconic. So is that what you pulled up there?
This is the Magic Kingdom page. Since you're talking about Magic Kingdom,
I was gonna bring up some photos too. So
yeah, feel free to bump this out.
Yeah, I'll do that right now. Actually, this is me. This is me at Galaxy's Edge. Let me do this. I don't know if I have any. Let me see. I know I posted a bunch. You can see a bunch of the pictures I posted and stuff like that. Here we go. There's me riding the.
I love that picture.
Yeah, that's it. That's the initial jump.
This is if Brett was in Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah,
right here.
So this is the initial go when it takes off, and so this was on Tuesday.
So is it stationary, but everything's moving around you, or are you actually shooting through?
No, it's a roller coaster.
It's a roller coaster, guy.
Yeah. Let me talk. Just be quiet.
I'm curious. It looks.
I'm going to tell you. You start asking questions before I have a chance to talk about it. I want to know, when you got off the ride, did you have ice cream? No, I did not have ice cream. There, I answered your question. It is a roller coaster. So it is a train of what looks like bikes. And to get on it, like you have two stationary sections. The one person, like the gal that was riding with me, was a single rider as well. She had to walk around the backside to get on, and then I get on that side there. And when it takes off, they move you around slowly, and then you get basically positioned, and it shoots you off at like 70 miles an hour.
Wow!
It shoots up and you go outside. It goes a slow turn, and as it does a turn around going down, it goes up. You go into the main area where the roller coaster is. It's a little bit like, I would describe it similar to the Mummy at Universal, just you're not in the same type of vehicle. That's my cousin Amanda. She loved Tron.
Yeah.
It was fun. The thing I have a problem with the Tron ride was a couple things. One is I thought the ride was too short. It's like 1 minute and 10 seconds. It's really not very long.
Right.
Number two was I really thought the theming of the queue and everything could have been better. It was okay. It felt very, it was very computery in some ways. When you get to a couple areas, I thought it was really cool, the lighting of that. But I think the initial entrance and everything else is very just blah with the white outside. It matches Space Mountain, but I think that whole entrance should have been like, and my thought was, if you remember the original movie and even the sequel, it all tied around Flynn's arcade. He had his own arcade. It would be cool if you were walking into Flynn's arcade and you see and just stuff on the side, games and stuff like that. And then the thing at the end, which digitized him to bring him in, they had that big giant one up. If they kind of did like this digitization type thing with you there, and made it feel like you were coming into the world a little bit better, I think the theme would be better. But it was fun. It was a cool ride. Definitely glad I got to do it. That's a ride I definitely will do at Disney anytime I go. And there's my buddy Juve there. I didn't get a chance to see him down there. Just moved down to, but he's down there, so he'd definitely be able to check it out. Hopefully a little more than I did. But that was fun. I said I like that a lot. And this was a couple of those little things on the wall, stuff like that. I just shared with things. I have a lot more. That's the disc. So like you're supposed to get your disc when you're on the ride and stuff like that. And then it says Tron Light Cycle Run, and it's presented by Enterprise. But as you can see, it's very this art, sail thing up here, stuff like that. Just okay for the theming. I mean, you look at me here. This is Pirates of the Caribbean. A lot better theming, I think. I like when they theme it a little better.
Yeah, to me,
stuff like
the
that.
Tron looks like it was meant for something else, and then they just stuck the Tron sign into it.
Yeah. Now the Tron ride itself originated over in Shanghai, and it's been out for several years. I think almost 10 years
Oh
over
yeah,
there. So they put it there first, and then they finally brought it over here to Magic Kingdom, which was pretty cool on that. But so, and then of course for both Magic Kingdom days, I rode everything I wanted to ride. And did all the stuff I wanted to do both days, some multiple times. The best ride for when I did the Big Thunder Mountain, I rode that a few times throughout those 2 days. But the best one was Tuesday night. I got on just before 8 o'clock, and as it takes off, they start shooting fireworks off, and you can see it's like almost like right overhead as you're going over Big Thunder Mountain and all that stuff, riding the roller coaster, which was really cool. That was a lot of fun.
cool.
And of
What's
course,
that building 2 pictures over from you next to Mickey?
this one here?
Yeah, what's that?
Yeah, that is the Haunted Mansion.
Oh, okay.
I was at this point. I was on the. I never rode the big steamship they have. It goes around Tom Sawyer's Island, stuff like that. So I was like, you know what? I've never done that. The last time I did a big Disney trip, and I've only been there like a few times where you don't have a lot of time, so I would never do it if I didn't have time. But since I had time, I was like, last time I was there, I mentioned about doing it, and the people I were with like, nah, we don't want to do that. It's like, okay, so we didn't do it. So I got on it. Like, I'm going to do it. I'm give me a nice little break. It's a nice leisure thing. It was just getting dark. By the time I actually got all the way around the 20-minute boat ride, it was pretty well dark. But I was like, I was looking over. I was like, wow, that's a great shot of the mansion itself. Now, of course, the Haunted Mansion, I mean, it's a facade. It's not a real house. I mean, the actual ride is like down below and behind in a soundstage, basically. Is the way to do it. But of course, it's all themed like the house and that. But I was like, man, what a great looking at the house. And the house here
It looks cool.
Is a different house than at the one in Disneyland, because the one in Disneyland, their Haunted Mansion's based in New Orleans.
Okay.
So that's a little bit different there. This was in the restaurant I ate at. And then, of course, I had to go meet Mickey when he was done as a magician Mickey. So that was and this was, and then, of course, I was walking through and the bears were out there. Everybody likes to talk about how drunk the bear looks, or they want to know what he's smoking. It's one of the country bears. It was funny. I was standing there waiting I figured, well, he's out here. I'm going to get a picture with him. So I'm waiting. And this family comes up on the side and they're just going to cut right in front of me to get a picture. And they start to do that. The bear, and I'm like, I'm not going to argue with these people. These people are going to do it all day long. It becomes an endless argument of, oh, we don't know, or we don't speak English, or, well, we didn't realize you were wanting a picture, and, whatever else. But the bear he just comes over to me and he kind of walks past him, says, puts his hand up, goes past, goes up to me, hugs me, and then takes a picture with me. It was hilarious. I was like, I was kind of laughing to myself. I was like, yeah, he saw what happened, and he saw that I wasn't going to start no arguing with people because they're on vacation.
Yeah, right,
so all I heard is, we're on vacation. Someone take care of us. This is my Animal Kingdom picture before I went in that day. You see a hoodie, jeans. It was definitely a little that. But see the sunglasses. It was sunny out, and sun was out every day.
I think that's the day I was snow blowing multiple driveways.
Yeah, I got a shot of the king during the show, Lion King, and this was this was actually dinner on Sunday night at the 50s Primetime Cafe. That's 3 things: it's fried chicken, meatloaf medallion with the potatoes and gravy, and then their pot roast, and that's my old fashioned. That was tasty.
Nice.
And I already had my power pack out, charging my my phone, and then from the balcony near my room. I wasn't a balcony, just outdoor sits. I was in the Toy Story area, so there's that big giant Woody out there. And then when I was at Hollywood Studios, I'm at Edna Mode. I like doing the character meets. I think it's fun. I saw Frozone, Mr. and Mrs. Incredible out, but I didn't go see them because I had lunch reservations. And then, of course, I did meet Sully, and I put on my Pixar hat for a minute with him.
Nice.
And then my favorite Mickey there is Sorcerer Mickey. That's my favorite Mickey, and he was there at Hollywood Studios, so I got a chance to see him. It was really cool, and Minnie was in the other room, so you get to see both of them. This is here though is the blue milk. So, and I've got the cup here too because it has a collector's cup. So that was kind of fun to try that out. It's all right. It's not the butterbeer of Star Wars likes. It's just not as good. It's okay. So I did see the Beast during my Beast. Okay, zip it through, and I'm going to concentrate on Star Wars. because he came out when I was at the Be Our Guest restaurant. Had some good French onion soup. I did try the gray stuff. It was delicious. You could ask the dishes. And then there's the Castle at
Is
Night.
that what it's called? The gray stuff?
Yeah, if you remember in the song "Be Our Guest,"
Oh,
one of the lines is "Try the gray stuff. It's delicious. Don't believe me? Ask the dishes."
there you go. I
So
never realized they said gray stuff there.
so they created some gray stuff, and
I love it.
it was cool. It was good. There's Epcot all. I did get to meet Donald. The shirt I'm wearing is a Star Wars shirt I bought. It is a Starfighter shirt. It has an X-wing on it, and it is Poe's X-wing because you can tell the droid is a BB-8 type droid. So that was pretty cool. And then this is the Guardians of the Galaxy ship that's outside the ride. This was at night while I was waiting to go on the ride. Because I had the virtual queue. That's me getting ready to leave when the night was done at
Nice.
Epcot last night. So and there's Mickey and that. But yeah, this right here is inside the Smuggler's Run. So this is a ride / video game is about the best way to describe it. You get 6 people involved. You have 2 pilots. One pilot does all the left-right stuff. The other one does all the up-down stuff. Then you have 2 of the gunners. The gunners basically press the button when they're told to shoot stuff. And you have 2 engineers that when lights come on, you hit all the lights and flip the switches to fix the ship whenever you get hit. So if everybody works really good together, you can get good points. We had decent points the second run. That was the one that I did the piloting on. I did 2 other runs where I was the engineer. And we got 2 of the it's like fuel for light speed. Which is funny. They never talked about it until recently in the more recent TV shows / animated shows they've had on Disney and that. But yeah, it's fun. And when you're in this part here, it feels like you're in the Falcon, but you're not actually walking. They don't really have the outside Falcon. They don't really have a tour through it. And you have a gangplank and they can go up into that, but I think it's just pretty much emptied out after a certain point. It's designed to get characters in and out. It's not designed for people that from here you go down a hallway. It feels like you're walking down the hallway that Han ran to get into either the gun chair or to the cockpit. Cockpit's a little bit bigger, a little bit different, but it still feels like you're there because you got the front part. Of course, then you have the screen and everything else. And the game / ride is Hondo sending you out as a smuggler. So a lot of fun.
Nice.
I would definitely do that one several times while there, a couple times here and there. The other ride is it's in the new part, Galaxy Edge, is the Rise of the Resistance. I got to do that twice. For Sunday when I was there, I rode both those rides. I did the Star Tours, which is the classic Star Wars ride, things like that. And I did a few other rides there too in Hollywood Studios, which I'll get a little bit. But just dealing in the Galaxy's Edge, the Rise of the Resistance is a great ride. It's similar. There's that. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, you can kind of see this here. I mean, when you come in, I mean, those are giant AT-ATs you're looking at.
So that's not a screen projection. It's actually like built props. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of physical props mixed in with some of the screen stuff.
Yeah.
The initial getting into, and I didn't upload all these, but initial getting into the ride, you go through the main queue, which is basically through a cave. And then you end up on an evacuation ship. They walk in one area, they open it up. You walk literally outside, and there's this big blue ship, and then over the side's Poe's ship. So you see all those. There's no way to see Poe's ship is during the ride. And then the side opens up. You load into the bay of this ship, and they have Amon Calamari and then Nien Nub, which people recognize that name if they know Star Wars quite well, are basically taking you out. And the ship, you feel like you're moving. Basically, what it's doing, I think, there's the part that you're in is actually moving internally to the next section that you have to get to. Because what happens is you get attacked by the First Order. You get caught up in the tractor beam. They load you into the ship, and then next thing you know, the side door opens up, and you can see it, and you walk out onto it. It's the landing bay on a Star Destroyer, and you got First Order officers. They're telling you to move, and basically they're going to interrogate you. And they don't like hustle you fast, so you can actually look around a little bit. So I did get a couple of pictures here, and I got to upload. But you probably see the pictures of people wanting to see all these stormtroopers just standing up, and that's that initial scene there. And it's huge. You got a giant or TIE fighter up on the wall, which is real, not real fly, but it's not a projection or anything, as well as a few other things. And when they get you to the next area, they start sorting everybody into the groups because you get so many per of those 2 ride cars that are together. So and then
Are
basically
you
they
purely riding in it, or like like the Men in Black ride where you have guns
no,
and
you're
you're
just
shooting?
riding,
Just
just
riding.
riding.
Okay.
Yeah.
It would be cool to have like little guns on there that where you're shooting stormtroopers or something.
Well, the premise of this is when you go in after they sort you and you put you into a room, that's a holding cell, and it goes down
Okay.
to a point, and then up above is a projection where you see oh, what's his name? Uh the redhead that was the first
Oh,
order commander. Hawk. Hunks?
Hux,
Yeah.
Hux.
Him and a first order trooper basically say you're going to talk. We know there's a spy. Everything's all about finding the resistance spies. Everything you do there. Um, and then they said, "Oh, we're going to attack, so I have to run out." And then all of a sudden, the wall, you see, just the light goes around it, and it's like they're burning through it to get you out. And then it opens up, and then of course it's a cast member, but they're dressed like a resistance member. And okay, you go here, and everybody's on your colors. Go into your colors and get into the thing. So you get in there. First ride I did on Sunday, I got front row of the car I was in, which was cool. The second one I was back row, but there's no bad seats in this.
Yeah.
Both cars when they take off, you have a droid in the front. It's the black R5 looking droids, and they come out and there's other cars there. Those are the ones they use to look the next group, but their eyes are different because you can tell. Supposedly the 2 cars that you have been reprogrammed, but the other ones are still programmed by the First Order. So the eyes are different coloring in that, which I thought was pretty cool theming on that. But it gets you out there. Basically, they tell the droids to tell them that they're just transferring prisoners. So it was kind of fun on that. And the ride takes you through, and you see like those giant AT-ATs. You've got an animatronic Kylo Ren that tries to force hold you and stuff like that. And you got Poe and all them attacking, trying to get you off the ship, and everything else. And you end up in a basically eventually into a escape pod. That's what I told Scott. He probably would do all right. This is not Green God's bad for the drop, but there is a little bit of drop. Most of it's the 3D projected feeling of the drop.
Right.
And then it comes down, and then when you come out, you're out of the ship outside, and you find out that the Mon Calamari that was piloting the ship, they had crashed, but he survived. He's right there, and
It is cool how they make these rides where it's not much movement, but that combined with the visual effects of the moving the projected screens and everything, you do get the sense. You truly feel like you're doing a lot more movement way faster and
air
really well.
movement, and then they have gyrations and stuff like that, movements within vehicles that. But this vehicle does move through a lot of space within that soundstage. So it's fun. So you end up outside. It was just a great ride. I got to do that twice. That's one I definitely do every time I'd go.
Nice.
The way the place is built, you feel like you're there in Star Wars. You hear ships going up overhead all the time, like they're taking off, which is kind of cool. And then you can get a Coca-Cola, Diet Coke, or Sprite. I only got the Coke as a thermal detonator. I thought that was cool. And then awesome. I didn't. Other than that, in the blue milk, I didn't eat in Star Wars, and there is a couple places you can get food at. And then
I recreate the Last Jedi. Luke getting his milk.
Yeah, no, they don't do that. Thank God.
That would be horrible.
They have Kylo Ren ship.
That'd be their drinking fountains.
Yeah, they have Kylo Ren shuttle. That's it's a full sky sail, and they use that when they bring him out. He comes walking down the plane. I saw that on Sunday night. So at nighttime, that's really cool. I did like walking through. Daytime and nighttime, I like walking through equally because daytime I can kind of see a lot of stuff, and then nighttime things are lit up differently. Right. Seeing them come down, they light up the ship more, things like that. We see cool. The Falcon all lit up at night, which is pretty cool. I was trying to see if I had that picture here. I know I shared it to a couple people. I don't think I uploaded the Falcon at night. Because I think I sent that to you, Scott. And it was definitely really cool to see it all lit up. There's a lot of shops there. Like I said, I found the one T-shirt. They have some costume stuff. I did see several, mainly females, a few guys dressed up, but mainly females. They were wearing some of the stuff there. Some were just dressed up. A lot of Instagram cosplayers. I know a few of them were from probably going to MegaCon that weekend, so they came out to take pictures in Star Wars land, and stuff like that. So
there's an example there. You see
that's the Falcon
versus nighttime.
Yeah,
for the exterior.
But it's definitely, it feels like you're there. It's just like anywhere. They did a great job. You got the jumper up top there on the left. You got the Falcon down there, which is close to full scale. I think it's a little bit smaller than what the original one would be, but gives you the
Yeah,
idea.
that'd be cool to see in person, though.
Yeah. And then and it was cool. And I'm not gonna lie, I think it is. I tell people though, I would tell you that I told Scott this. I said, if you're gonna go, you gotta go. You're gonna spend the money for the one day. You just plan on spending all day there. If all you want to do is Star Wars, there's things you can do. You can use your phone with the app, and there's games like bounty hunting, stuff like that. The shops, like I said, were fine. I mean, they were selling a lot of like the stuffed porgs and a few other the creatures, stuff like that. Um, but I mean, overall, I think it was fine. The theming of going with the First Order stuff is okay, but I mean, that's kind of what they initially started with. I
Yeah.
did see a cosplayer, or they have a character actor, I should say, as the Mandalorian, where he carries Grogu. I saw him, but I didn't get near him because there's too many people were standing in front to see him, and he stands behind a rope because there's just too many people.
Yeah.
The three rides they have for Star Wars. I mean, Star Tours is technically outside of Galaxy's Edge. It's in the original area there. Still fun. Star Tours, I did that a few times, and each time the thing was slightly different. They're very similar. They go to different worlds. And one time we were on Kashyyyk, another time we were on the planet next to Endor from Last Jedi, another time we were on Hoth. So it's kind of neat.
Nice.
I would still ride that one anytime. It's still fun. Was never as busy, of course, because everybody wants to go into Galaxy's Edge and ride that. So definitely Rise of the Resistance is the best ride of all three Star Wars rides.
Okay.
Hopefully they'll be doing more with that stuff down the road. I know the Starship Hotel closed, but that was just ridiculously expensive. And everything I saw on it, people like it was fun, but I don't think it was $6,000 fun. So
Yeah.
it definitely was not cheap.
What's your speculation on that? Do you think they'll just convert it to something lower end, or but still a hotel, or just completely renovate it to something completely different?
I don't know. See, they've already got it set up to be a Star Wars hotel. I personally think they should just switch it up to be
A regular hotel.
yeah, and just you can just stay there.
Yeah.
Maybe you pay a premium per night, but everything with the money was you were involved in your own mission and stuff like that. So that's part of the issue with all that is I think people, you're spending that $6,000 or whatever it was. It really was thousands of dollars. And you were supposed to be like an actual participant. So just to stay there, and then you all go to the park, and then you only went to Galaxy's Edge for like 4 hours or something like that. In a 2-day stay, you were there.
Right.
Everything else was done there. You had food included; it was all included, so your stay. So I think they have to reevaluate what they're going to do with it and see if it goes from there. I mean, there's been talks of them doing that at Universal with a Harry Potter hotel. I don't know how true that'll be. I mean, personally, I think you don't need to immerse them into a hotel to get people involved. People are getting that in the parks itself.
Yeah, as long as the decor looks cool and kind of keeps you in there. I mean, you're pretty much, when you're doing a trip like this, the hotel is where you're going to rest.
Well, yeah, I stayed at the All-Star Movies, and it's a lower end resort. It's probably the furthest one out, but they take buses, take you everywhere. So I didn't have to worry about transportation. But you know what? Cost-wise, coming there, I was at the hotel. I get back when I was done for the day to rest, get up, leave. I wasn't at the hotel. Right. Some people now want to stay closer, and I can understand it with kids. If I had younger kids I was taking, I might consider staying at one of the closer hotels where you can easily leave the park, hop on, if you're right there at Magic Kingdom, hop on either the monorail or the boats or whatever, and head to wherever you need to go. Because then you're staying right there, and you can take the kids back like around 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They take their naps, and you go back and finish the night off so they can see the fireworks. So but yeah, I personally, as an adult, I more about saying, I wouldn't mind staying in other hotels. They got some nice ones, stuff like that. If you want a little more luxurious stuff like that. But my room was nice, clean, had a nice big bed. I liked where it was. They had their little food court and stuff like that. So I ate there a couple times, did some breakfast there. Because I had the quick service meals along with the dining plan. So I had quick service and sit down meals. So I split that up. But yeah, it was fun. It was a great trip. I had a good time. I definitely am going to plan another trip somewhere down the road and go back again. And definitely will do. Animal Kingdom is probably the one park I could skip. I mean, there's rides there I like, but it's not necessarily a riding park for me. But that might be something if I did it again, do like the half day there and then maybe a half day at Epcot or something like that. And then try to do like the Guardians of the Galaxy again. In that, but definitely I truly enjoy the classic rides at Magic Kingdom. The new rides are just a blast. And then, of course, Hollywood Studios. Besides the Star Wars there, you've got the Pixar land where you actually feel like you're in Andy's backyard and Mandy's room. I rode the Slinky Dog a couple times. That was a fun roller coaster. I like the theming on that one. It feels like you're walking through where they set it up. You get the box everywhere. It's a big giant box, and here's the track you bought to build your Slinky Dog roller coaster. And then the Midway Mania was fun. I'd done that one before because that's been there for a long time. They replaced the Great Movie Ride, which I did not ride the last time there, though I wanted to. The other people did not want to, so we didn't do that. And so I rode the Minnie and Mickey's Runaway Railroad. That was a blast. Similar ride type of the Rise of Resistance. When you're in the cars for that one, they kind of move all over. There's 3 cars together. It starts off as a train, then they get split off when everything goes haywire. And all the different rooms are really cool. So, yeah. See if it shows some of that.
Let's see. I guess it's just this animated thing. Let's see. Oh, wait, there's some clicks here.
Yeah, because you end up like underwater through different scenes and stuff like that. Basically, Mickey and Minnie are trying to save you, and then that's the end there.
Is this what you're actually seeing? So it looks like animated as you go through?
Well, some of it's animated on the walls. Some of it is like that last scene there with them at the picnic is actually the faces are kind of animated, but it is a model, basically.
Okay.
Yeah. So they have a mix between that and
very colorful. Looks cool.
Yeah, I rode that one a couple times. A lot of fun. I like that one a lot too. That was cool. Nice. The initial part is once you get in there, you start off in a little room and it's Mickey coming out and they're going to go on a picnic. They're showing the thing, and also Goofy, of course, is the employee of the month for the railroad. He's the only employee, and causes some haywire. And then basically it blows up, and then the screen kind of lifts, but it really cool the effect. It looks like it actually blows a hole in the screen, and you walk. Basically, you're walking into Toonland. Then
nice.
That's how it gets you into the ride. And then when you leave, the exit, which is a different location, has that same blowout. So, which is pretty cool. So a lot of fun on that one. I did the Hollywood Tower of Terror, which is a drop ride. And of course, it's a sudden drop, so you kind of float out of your seat for a second. So that was fun. I did do the Indiana Jones stunt show. Was a fun. I like doing that one. That's if you went a couple days at Hollywood Studios, you only need to do that once, and maybe even every trip. But it was fun. I enjoyed that one. I'm trying to think what else was ride-wise there. The Aerosmith roller coaster was down. I'd never done that and I wanted to do it, but it's been I don't know if they're going to change it or just refurbish it and keep it Aerosmith. I don't know what's going on there. I think what else there was. Yeah, that's pretty much it for that one. I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff to wander around.
Awesome.
See, characters, stuff like that. So it was a blast. I mean, if you like, I like Disney. I like going to Disney. You know, a couple people say, "Oh, I should take you with us when we go." I'm like, let me know if I can work it out. I'll go. It's just like Universal. I still love going to Universal. I tell people I do Universal more because overall costs are a little bit easier to control than Disney in terms of the annual pass, staying on property, things like that. Disney, though, you really have to plan your days out, especially if you want to do sit-down dining, because reservations get snapped up very fast. I had a hard time getting decent reservations. I was looking at a couple lunch ones and a couple afternoon ones, so that worked out. But most of the later evening ones were gone. So,
yeah.
So that was my week last week, people. I had fun. It was a blast.
Nice. Well, very cool. And this was your one of your shipped reward for being such a great employee for so long for them. Well, not employee, but independent contractor, I should say.
You hit 10,000 shops. They basically give you a vacation, and they give you money towards that. So after the money they gave me, I spent an extra a little bit more than $400, but initially $400 to the travel agent to cover the cost. And that basically covered my meal plan, which is I highly recommend the dining, but if you go multiple days, cost wise, it will save you. I mean, it's like the Be Our Guest took 2 of the 6 points. Same thing with the Salier, but those meals alone would have been like $90 just for me,
right?
Tax. So it adds up. I mean, it definitely in the long run saves you. You get, and then you get the quick service ones, and then you get 6 snacks as well, and then you get a resort cup because you're staying on property. So with the cup, every day before I left the resort, I filled it up with coffee, drank coffee, headed over to the parks, ended up put it in my backpack. Got back, I could have more coffee, hot chocolate, or all the soda I wanted. So
nice.
At the hotel, I didn't have to pay for any drinks. I just got whatever I wanted. So that was nice.
Which, yeah, when you go on vacation, drinks can add up.
Yeah.
because
And
they
then you watch for
charge for
other,
everything. So that's
and
good.
I did the dining plan, but one of the promotions they had going on, which tied in me staying at a resort, was I got $360 in dining gift cards to use while I was there too.
Nice.
So I didn't pay for anything food or drink wise.
That's awesome.
And so I definitely came out way ahead. And then I have a Disney credit card, so I'd saved all my Disney bucks, put that on there. So all the shirts I bought, because I bought 3 shirts, they were paid for with that Disney bucks I'd earned by using the
That's
Disney
awesome.
credit card. So really, I didn't spend a whole lot of money this last week on my out of my bank account.
Sweet.
And the leftover bit I had, I gave it to a friend who was going to take his wife out to dinner because I'm not going to be back down there in time before it expires. But it was just for a single person with already having a dining plan, a lot of money to spend. That's why I used it on stuff like this. We're buying the thermal detonator at Animal Kingdom. I was like, oh, I'm going to give me a drink. I wanted a Coke. Well, you buy this and get a Coke, and you got to, and then you carry it with you. I got a canteen. It's I mean, the plastic's a little cheesy, but it'll hold water, and you take it with you. And then, of course, I did the Star Wars cup too. So there's things like that. Got me an ice cream when I wanted an ice cream, or things like that. Use that dining card and whatever else. I was like, oh, this looks good. I'll try this.
That's
And
awesome.
I didn't eat tons. It's one of those things where I was kind of hungry here and there, but I didn't eat tons because a couple of meals I had were pretty filling for the day. And
Yeah. And you're busy walking around having fun.
And doing 20,000 steps a day, even though I burned it off, I just wasn't as hungry. I did try the Casey's at the Bat hot dog place. I got a giant foot long, and it had I thought it was supposed to be brisket, but I think it was pork. And I like barbecue. That it was all right. It was tasty. I wasn't as thrilled with that one as I was hoped to be in, but it's part of my meal plan. I use that as one of my things. Nice about the quick service meal plan is you got your entree and you got a drink with it. So I got a large Coke with it, and that was good.
Nice.
So. But yeah, if you got to plan, Disney plan everything ahead of time, and people say, "Oh, I hate making plans." You got to plan certain things, like the meals and stuff like that. But when you're there, your plans are going to change how you ride rides, especially with the GD Plus, when you can get certain lightning lanes, and you don't want to be darting too much all over the place. You want to start on a kind of a path around the parks, so you don't have to cross too much. So,
well, very good. It was definitely an adventure.
Yep.
Cool. Well, for me, I didn't have all that fun. One of the things I did watch, a movie that came out in 2019, Brett had seen it. It's called Yesterday. I never saw it. I happened to stream it the other day. That was really enjoyable. I was very happy with that. I was just kind of a little bit bored, so I'm like, I'll throw this on. Pleasantly surprised. Well done movie there.
I liked it a lot. What I liked was how they tied in some real life stuff now or whatever versus the history of that. I mean, the basic premise is that this guy gets hit. That's the guy on the left there, gets hit by a bus. And at the same time, I believe the power goes out. And it's like a comet or something like that. And when he wakes up, the Beatles had never existed. And of course, then he finds out certain things like, there's like no Coke.
Yeah, you would have been miserable. No Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Well, there's water. And then no Coke. And then of course he's like, Oasis looks at the band Oasis, goes, well, that makes sense because Oasis really was inspired by the Beatles and stuff like that. So there's little things how they tied it in there. And it's a kind of a romantic rom-com too with that. Because he's kind of a failed musician. Nobody likes his original songs. And he starts doing all the Beatles songs that nobody's ever heard of. And of course they all love them.
I love how they incorporated Ed Sheeran into it too, playing himself.
The best part was the dad. Ed Sheeran comes to the house. He's called him up, and he's like, "Yeah, whatever. You're not Ed Sheeran." Hangs up on. Shows up at his house because he wants to bring him on tour with him, since he's kind of getting known from basically YouTube and all that stuff. And his dad looks at it. He comes out. Hey, how's it going? Hey, anybody ever tell you look like Ed Sheeran? And he goes, "Well, I am Ed Sheeran." He goes, "Oh, good for you," and walks out the door. Which was hilarious. I mean, the parents were just kind of oblivious on the whole thing, which was funny.
Yep.
And that. But yeah, if you've never seen it, it's a good one. Danny Boyle is the one that directed it. He does a bunch of good. He's done a few good movies over the years. Pull him up here. You'll recognize a few things here, like Slumdog Millionaire, 28 Days Later, Shallow Grave. Train Spotting is another one he did. So he's got a good record on doing some good movies and stuff like that.
Well,
So.
this shows he's got variety. He's got
Yeah.
range in what type of movie he can do. I mean, 28 Days Later is a very different movie than
Yeah.
this.
Supposedly they're doing now 28 years later.
Right.
So because they did 28 days, 28 months, or was it 28 months later or something like that? And now it's going to be 28 years later. That's what I heard they're doing now. So,
well, of course, you know, the really confusing part is the original movie. Here, let me pull it up. Present, share screen, right here. 28 days.
Well, that's not the original one. That's the Sandra Bullock where she was drunk.
Right. Yeah. But it's like 28 days is somebody did this as a meme. It's like, I still don't understand how this led into the other three films. Because then you have 28 days later, 28 hours, 28 weeks.
Yeah.
Now we're at 28 years or something.
Yeah, 28 days and 28 days later. And then, so,
Sandra Bullock started it all.
Yeah. There's 28 weeks later, which that was a decent movie. It was all right. And then they said they just got greenlit for this last month for 28 years later. So and Danny Boyle's directing. He's also one of the co-writers. So it'll fall, if you like those movies, I think it's gonna fall right in line. So
yeah, and then unexpected news: Toby Keith passed away. That was I mean, he's been battling cancer pretty bad.
Yeah, stomach cancer.
Yeah. When I saw his performance, that was a few months ago now. He's saying, "Don't let the old man in." Yeah, you could see how skinny how much weight he had lost. He's a big guy. I mean, he looks like he could have been an NFL player. I mean, he had.
Oh, he was big. He was a big dude. So.
Yeah. So, but yeah, he was a real blessing to a lot of people as far as his music. He's one of the modern day legends of country music. So I definitely have enjoyed his music a lot over the years.
Yeah, I've liked a few of the songs here and there, stuff like that. I know he's known for like Red Solo Cup is a very popular one.
He's got so many. He's got like the hard hitting patriotic songs, but then he has these funny songs. Like I Want to Talk About Me is hilarious. Red Solo Cup is great.
Well, he also had one I always liked was the As Good As I Once Was.
Yeah. I'm not as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was.
Right.
Yep.
That was a good one.
He kind of followed in the lines of, I don't know if he directly meant to, but he reminded me a lot of Travis Tritt. Travis Tritt had like, Here's a Quarter, Call Somebody Who Cares, songs like that. So he kind of had that attitude to his music that was really fun. Well,
him and like Travis Tritt, a bunch of those guys, they were really the originators of outlaw country.
Yeah, there you go.
They took it a little more out there more, and they changed up that little rockabilly feel to it, but they went a little more outlaw with it, incorporated more stuff. They were a lot of the forefront of those changes in country music that took it from the classic twang that everybody knew to being something a little more, and actually brought in the mainstream of it. So.
Yeah, so loved his music. So rest in peace there, Toby Keith.
Yeah, that was a little shock on that one the other day. So
yeah, I agree. And then last but not least, unless you have more.
No, go ahead.
Our Crimson Shadows Kickstarter. This is our largest one yet. It's our 198-page trade or graphic novel, as some people will say sometimes. It incorporates all 4 issues of Crimson Shadows into one, but we also have bonus content, 28 pages of story added, galleries, concept art, and other things like that. So go check it out. Let me post the link here. So there's our link, so you can go straight there or go to bardstone.com. The links are over at the website as well.
Yeah.
So we're moving along. We got 26 records. We got a lot of people watching. We have about 77, I think it was, watching it. And so we still have like 60 people watching who haven't pledged yet. So a lot of potential there. If you're thinking about pledging, go do it now. Doing it sooner helps, because once you cross that finish line, our minimum goal is 3,500. There's a lot of people in Kickstarter who watch, but they don't want to donate unless it actually gets funded. So crossing that finish line is a key part to do it early.
Now, I've never understood that with people when they say, "Oh, I want to wait till it's funded to do it." Here's the thing: if it doesn't get funded and you pledged,
You don't get
you won't get
charged.
charged.
Right. So just fund it.
So just fund it. Help get there. If you really believe in it, get it. And we all have there's like 5 covers to choose from on the soft cover.
Yep.
Scott and Kevin and I all have our own unique covers.
I'll go
Definitely.
down there.
So if you have a favorite out of all of us, get
Yeah.
that person's cover.
So there's cover A. This one I did. Cover B is an homage cover I did. But then here's Kevin's. He's cover C. So you can grab that. Yep. And then you got Brett's here, cover D. I love yours. It's a fun one. Homage to Young Frankenstein.
Yep.
So there's that. And then we have the hardcover. And
I incorporated with mine too. I incorporated from my issue 1 variant.
Yep.
With the girl in the Jack the Ripper. A little bit different than the cover, but still there.
And then we have our hardcover edition. So 5 total covers, counting the hardcover. You can pick one of those as your foundation for your rewards. And then when you go to check out, you can do add-ons. So if you want all the covers, you can add on the other covers. We also have our individual issues available through the add-ons that are available. And we're running low on quantity. So, an example, issue 1, I'm only offering these 2 covers here. The other ones are Brett's cover is sold out, and Kevin's, I don't think I have any left. I think Kevin has a few left.
Yeah.
So we're just starting to run out.
I gotta go through my inventory to see what I even have left of any of them. So
so go check it out. And then I've got them priced really well. If you want to complete your sets where maybe you already have one of the covers for issue 2, but you would like to get the other variants, I've got them $8 each. Those were $15 originally. So I'm really trying to make it so people could complete their collections. So some great savings through the add-ons there to get the ones you are missing.
Yep.
And then last but not least, when you get there, if you're not going to back it yet, you can click remind me to receive a reminder in the last 48 hours.
Yep.
And please share here under here. You can share the links. You can copy the links. That's a big help to us to kind of get around the algorithms so that your people in your circles can see it as well.
Exactly.
So there you go.
Well, cool. Well, hey, I know next week we'll probably cover a little Super Bowl fun or whatever happens there.
Yep. And we got Fat Tuesday next week too. Tuesday.
I didn't realize that was next week. Okay, we'll make sure we got Portuguese.
Yeah.
I think the other thing we'll have to cover next week as we get more information on is the new Gina Carano lawsuit against Lucasfilm.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. That can have big ramifications just everywhere. And Elon Musk is funding that lawsuit for her.
Yeah, which I found
that's very interesting. Yeah, so that's going to be interesting. We also had there was something I was going to ask you about. I don't remember now. I'm sure it'll pop in my head during the week. But it was something that was announced. Oh, well.
Oh, was it the Jurassic World?
Oh, yes. I was going to ask you about that. So
I guess there's no information out there, but they're doing a new one.
But they do have a date set for 2025.
Yeah, so they're going to come out within a year and a half. Now, here's my thought is, the first Jurassic World, it was fine. I enjoyed it. The second one, first half was good. The last half sucked. The third one, I can't get through the first 25 minutes without being bored to tears.
Yeah, it's the problem they have is every time you start bringing it into the modern world, it loses something.
I personally think that what they should be doing with Jurassic Park / World, whatever they want to call it, they need to go back to the original novel and make that. Yeah. There's so much in that original novel that was left out that they could do a harder core movie based on that. I mean, the original novel starts off with some of the dinosaurs actually leaving the island and ended up over, I think, in Chile or something like that. And they kill a kid, it's right. I mean, you go a little more hardcore. It doesn't have to be like, they try too much to, we want kids love dinosaurs. Kids love dinosaurs. Make another Land Before Time if you want them to see that. Go a little more hardcore, go more edgy, go a little darker with it and do the actual novelization and start from there again and go and build it from there.
So they have here. I might as well share it since we're talking about it.
Yeah.
Jurassic World. So I am wondering, will it be called Jurassic World or will they start a new series? Like originally it was Park, then became World. Now this says World here, but David Cope, who wrote the screenplay for the original Jurassic Park, returns for the yet untitled film. So they are going kind of back to the roots of where it all began for the movie series, at least. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see it, like you said, go back to the novel maybe, but They have July 2nd, 2025 as the slotted date.
Which which leads
Pretty
me to believe a
far.
couple of things here. It's they just greenlit it, but I have a feeling they greenlit it on an existing script.
Because that's a very, with how much special
Now
effects go into this, that's a tight timeline.
it is, and I think it could be done, but you want to know what you're going to do ahead of time. But I think if they go back to some of the original stuff on that, I mean, the problem is, like I said, they went too much to the real world. They took it away from the park on the island, and I remember in the second film, it was like, well, the guy was trying to figure a way to save his granddaughter. I think it was, if I remember right. But then by the third one, it's like, oh, they took over the world. I'm like, no, it just didn't fit. You know, there's no way they would allow that many dinosaurs to have bred enough to go out in the world and do that much spreading around.
I just hope they don't get crazy and make it some kind of weird genetic thing where now we have basically Godzilla, where a T-Rex is now the size of a skyscraper.
Well, and that's part of the thing they did with the Jurassic World was they started creating these new dinosaurs that were ginormous.
Right.
You know, then one that was in the big tank or whatever, and they would feed it and like that. But go back to basics. You don't need to go so over the top with a Godzilla style monster or anything like that. Go back to the basics of actual dinosaurs, and you work from there.
Or if you want to take this premise, I think this would work too. Jump into the future, do a time jump, and basically it's like Planet of the Apes. But now with the dinosaurs have so overrun the world, modern society has collapsed. And we're surviving kind of like cavemen now, just trying to survive out there.
Well, that's how it felt with the third movie as it started, was that.
But what was weird was people still had regular houses, like the families out in the pool. It's like, would you go out camping?
I wouldn't want to play one. They're going to be doing another Planet of the Apes, so I wouldn't want another movie like that style. I don't think that would work. I really don't, because I think it would. The problem is just like what we've talked about with the Godzilla films, like Godzilla -1. Reason that worked was you have a good human story. And if you don't have a good human story, who cares about the monsters or dinosaurs or whatever?
Right.
So I think I personally think you go back to basics with the original story and start crafting a story from there. You know, they lost their way with Jurassic Park 2 and 3 because, well, they crafted such a story that was different from the novel that they were following too much of the Hollywood rules. So they need to go back and see what they can do from that.
And I really hope they don't go after... I really hope they're not trying to develop the part of the storyline of Jurassic World that was abandoned, where the company was trying to do these dino-human hybrids to create these dino-humans. It's like...
Well, I tied it to the whole granddaughter thing. Yeah, I don't want to know that. I
want to see these hybrid.
What I liked was the original Jurassic Park, and the main story was, okay, they got the DNA. They learned how to clone dinosaurs. They were going to set up a theme park. You know, people were going to come to this thing, and then you had people that wanted to steal it. That was the corporate espionage. That stuff works. When they start getting too sci-fi out there with we're going to make these dino hybrids. Well, they didn't make a dino hybrid movie and call it something else.
And then it basically becomes a prequel to what was that, Dinosaurs or whatever, that TV show way back when.
No, Dinosaurs.
It was called Dinosaurs, right?
Yeah, which was hilarious. It was a good show,
right? And then Jurassic World is actually the prequel to that.
Yeah,
we created these hybrids.
Yeah, no, we don't need to do all that stuff. So we'll see. We'll see what they end up doing with that.
But yeah,
I think it's gonna be a hot mess.
I think you're right, though. I think this is something that was either it's in a script they were already had, or a former script that they decided to revive, because it's just the time frame's so tight.
Here's the thing with the whole strikes and stuff like that. They can all say that, we're not doing anything. Bullshit. They were writing like crazy. Some of these people were. They had more time to do it. They weren't working on set, so they were prepping stuff. And some of these guys I know were talking to producers and stuff like that. They're going, "This is what we want to do. Can you see what you can knock out?" So I'm sure whoever's the writer on that, so I'm sure they were cranking that thing out for the last year.
Yeah, well, kind of like with us with lockdowns. Look how much product we produced during that time. So during the strike, somebody who normally puts out maybe 3 scripts a year probably put out 20 during that time because they didn't have to.
Well, most likely because when they don't have to work, they were writing spec scripts and stuff like that to get ready to have samples.
Yeah.
And then they went and marched once a week just to keep their affiliation with the union. So,
right.
But
so very good.
All right, we'll talk some more about that next week, though. So I think that'll be fun.
Yeah. All right,
So
everyone.
have a good week. Watch Super Bowl. I won't be there. I'll be here.
And get punch keys.
Good. Bye.
Bye.